In this video, I'm going to show you the Leaders in Heels planner. So I actually found this planner a while ago when my colleague was asking for recommendations for a work planner. So I think this one is a really good career planner if you're trying to get a promotion at work, if you have a side hustle, if you want to start a business. It has plenty of extra pages, not just a weekly and a monthly spread. So before I had a chance to purchase it, the company actually reached out to me and asked if I wanted to do a review. So obviously I said yes. So I do have to put the usual disclaimer on it where I received the copy for free, but you know that I always say what I think regardless of whether I paid for the planner or not. So in addition to the planner, the company also sent me these really cute stickers that they have. I really love the black and gold. I think that pops really well, but there is also this blush color that will match the planner if you wanted to get everything coordinated. So these stickers, there's some nice script stickers. Look at that gold foil really popping against that black. Got the months of the year, and we also have some tab stickers, which is really good because there are no tabs in the planner, but you can easily add these stickers yourself, and all the pages are numbered anyway, so you don't have to get these stickers. They just look really cute. Also with the planner comes an intentions and goals card, as you can see here, and you can also put their manifesto in the planner as a bookmark if you wanted to. So let's talk about the planner. So I chose this version because I'm a sucker for polka dots. I love anything polka dot. You can also get a floral version, and there's also a different like leatherette cover. This one's leatherette, but it's got a different style, and there's different colors to choose from. So there's quite a few options. As you can see, that gold foil is really popping. And if you want to pay a little bit extra, you can get your cover monogrammed with your initials, which I think is really cute extra touch. The spine here has the text in gold foil as well. As for the dimensions, the planner is about 1 inch thick, and it is 5.75 inches wide by 7.75 inches high. So it is quite a compact size. It's a little smaller than most like career goal planners that I've seen, and but because of that, it's not too heavy. So you could definitely put this in your handbag and take it to and from work if you want to, use it at your day job, or you can just leave it on your desk at home. Like totally up to you. You've got the option because it is this portable size. The planner company is Australian, which obviously I was quite happy about, but if you live in another country, they have free worldwide shipping over $90, which I think is such a good deal given how expensive shipping is these days. The planner is undated, so if you want to, you can start it in March, you can start in April, doesn't matter when, you can start it whenever you like, and it runs for 12 months. Love that these polka dots are continued throughout that match the cover. So at the front here, we have an intentions and goals, and you'll notice throughout that there's a lot of top three tasks, top 3 projects, which I really like because I always do 3 as well. They give you some ideas on how to use the planner. I won't read it all out, but I'll just zoom the camera and you can pause and read that if you would like. I'll also have photos of all of this in the blog post, which will be linked down below. Gives you some suggestions on what you should do each quarter, month, and weekly, and also at the end. I really like that, spells it out for you. And then also tells you about the other pages that are included and why. And we go into the actual planner itself. So there's no tabs, but there are black divider pages for each section. So if you flick through, you can easily find the dividers, as you can see. And when you get to those dividers, it tells you what's behind them. So it might say like quarter 1, quarter 2, see quarter 1, and then back where we were just before, it tells you the contents of that section. So I think that's a nice little extra, and there's also page numbers on every single page as well if you want to find a page easier. They're printed there for you. So behind this first section, we have our dream day. So help you to stop and think about what you actually want to be doing versus what you're doing now and what you need to change. And while they do have this confetti pattern on the page, it's not so bold that it's going to be in the way. You can still easily just write over the top of it. It's not really an issue. Or they have this cute polka dot spine here. Just some nice little extras, not just plain pages. And also there's lots of color printing, which you'll see especially when we get to the weekly spread, which I think is really nice extra because especially for sewn bound planners, they rarely have color printing on them. They're just plain black and white. So this one has a bit more interest to it with all of the colors. So we've got our core values, your legacy, and some life planning. Now I really like about this one, it's not just the current month. It has space to put your 5-year and your 10-year. So if you want to get to whatever in 10 years, you need to think about what you're going to be doing in the next 12 months. So I really like that like long-term forward planning, not just the current year. There's also a big box for you to decide what you need to be focusing on doing now. And after that, it leads into the projects. This is one of my favorite sections of the whole planner. I really like how it's laid out. It's very functional. Top 3 again. And then we have more space to plan out the projects. Now, when I saw the page size of this planner, I was a little worried that there wouldn't be enough room to write. And if you do have large handwriting, you might struggle to fit things in with this planner. But they do give you quite a generous number of pages for each type of spread. So for this project planning page, for example, there's actually 4 pages to plan that project. So it's not just crammed onto 2 that most planners will include. So on the first page, you can do overview of the goal. Some interesting questions I've never really considered when I set a goal. What's going to happen if I don't complete it? 2 other questions there for you. And then I really like this brain dump project list, and it's not just 1 page, it's actually 2 pages. And instead of just putting the task, you've also got a priority and when, and then also milestones. So unless I put a month, I don't do specific dates of when I'm going to finish something, but if I don't put the month on there, it tends to not get finished. So I really like that they already have that column there for you. Then we have the first 3 steps, which I think is really good because, to be honest, starting is sometimes the hardest part of doing it. So I think that's a nice little extra and something that I'll probably incorporate into my own approach to project planning. What resources you need, who I'm going to share it with for accountability. So I really, really like these project pages. And there's 3 different project pages. So you can do up to 3 big goals in this planner. More dreams, goals, and ideas if you need a bit more space, or maybe it's not a huge goal. You can map that out on these blank pages here. The paper is nice bright white, but I am noticing there is a fair bit of show through of the text that's printed on the back side of the page. So perhaps some thicker paper, because I'm really thinking that some pens, most pens actually, ballpoint, gel, fine tip, I think they're going to show through and have some ghosting on this paper. Continuing on, we have the annual life review. So I thought this was interesting take, because most people would just be like, well, I know myself, I would just be like, okay, my priorities, travel, business, health, okay, out of 10, what have I got? But it has some other questions in here, like your work-life balance, personal time and self-care. And I'm like, yeah, okay, if I look at those, to be honest, if 1 was the worst, 10 was the best, I'd probably be sitting on a 2. I've never really gone, yeah, okay, I should probably consider that in my rating out of 10. So I should probably add that, and also giving back. So I thought that was a good take on a review. So we have our success routines. So if you're trying to map out what you should be doing or how to make sure everything gets done, you could use this page to kind of give you a guide of what you should be doing each week before you actually plan each week. I really like this down here with the monthly, quarterly, half year and yearly routines. I think that could probably be a bit bigger. I reckon I could easily fill those boxes, but I really love that idea. You can refer back to and be like, okay, this quarter, what do I need to do? Then we have our yearly planner. So because it's undated, you can start at whatever month that you like, just write the month in there, or you could use those stickers and just add December if that's when you're starting it, whichever month, and then some open-ended boxes to put whatever you like in them. Next, we go into the first quarter. So we have that black divider page. There's plenty of quotes and motivational phrases and just things in here to keep you going, which I quite like. So firstly, we go into the quarterly planning. So you've got your intentions for the quarter, what you're going to do this quarter. And I love this little checklist down here as well. I think that's a really good idea. And you probably notice when I was talking about the color. So the other reason that I thought this planner was quite unique, it's not just got the pink on the page, pink font, that's a pink line there, mixed with the black. There's actual pink pages. There's also a light blue, which I'll show you later on when we get to it. So for the quarter, you can put in your months and then what you're going to do in each of those months in these nice big open-ended boxes. And then we have a growth plan and a vision. So I've never really thought about doing these pages, but I think they're really good to separate your career and personal. And then your vision. Let you pause the video if you would like to read the questions. They'll also be in photos in the blog post. Just because I know this video is going to be quite long, I'm not going to read them all out. Okay, and then we get to planning the first month. So one con for me, actually the main con, is this monthly calendar. I do not think it is usable. All the other pages in the planner I think are great, really well thought out, except for this one. So for me, I can't really do anything with these boxes. They're really small. They're like, I'll measure them, but I think they're like 2 centimeters square. So I don't know about you, but I can't really write anything that small. I think I would be using dot markers and maybe using this for like a social media planner, like when am I going to be pinning to Pinterest, or if you're on Instagram or posting a YouTube video or that kind of thing, or maybe when you're going to a networking event. But I don't think you can really write a lot in here. So if you're someone who wants to allocate things to each day and you like a 2-page monthly spread, you're not going to find that in this planner, which is quite disappointing. I think if they did a edit for next year, definitely include a 2-page monthly calendar. The other thing, I really like this monthly overview page, and they mentioned down the bottom here, what am I going to track for habits? So then I immediately went looking for a habit tracker, but I cannot find one. It just goes straight into the weekly spread. So I think this monthly planning is a good idea. However, you might need to use the notes pages at the back to plan out in a bit more detail, or really make use of this quarterly planning page here. You might struggle to fit it all on this page. I've got checklists, areas focused, who you want to connect with, some good prompter questions. And then we go into the weekly spread. So you can see we're only at the first weekly spread, and look how many extra pages we've already had. And there's some more at the back as well from this bookmark onwards. I already flagged it. So there's tons of extra pages in this planner. Okay, so the weekly spread. If you follow me, you know that I don't use a weekly spread. However, I do think this is a really good layout. We've got top 3 priorities. You could put work, personal for your headings, or whatever else you would like to put there. Got a nice big lined space, and then a daily tracker, and then progress. So I guess instead of a monthly habit tracker, maybe they're intending for you to put it on your dailies. Up to you. For the my progress, I wasn't particularly sure what the intention was there with having 5. To me, I thought there would be 3 circles and you'd be tracking each of your projects. So I'm not sure what's happening with that. Maybe they're for your mini goals, or you could just make that up yourself. And then we have a sidebar here with the weekly priorities. This week I want to, and there's different quotes throughout. And then there's also a week in review down the side here. One thing I don't like is the combined Saturday, Sunday. So I understand this is like a career planner. However, if you are using this for a side hustle, you're going to want to have the full columns for Saturday and Sunday. So I think that is a major con. I think it would probably be better to go Saturday, Sunday, and then maybe have a separate page for the weekly review. That would be really good. But otherwise, I think it's quite functional, and you can just circle whatever month you're up to. Don't have to worry about putting in dates if you don't want to. There's 5 weekly spreads for each month. Okay, then at the end of each month, we have the monthly review. So there's quite a few questions here for you to answer. I'll just let you read those yourself. I do quite like this one, events I attended. Pretty bad with networking at my day job. I just usually cannot be bothered doing it, and something I do need to improve on. So I think that's a good accountability question. And then you can rate all the areas of your life out of 10 with those different categories like giving back, fun and happiness, personal time. And as you can see, we've got that nice polka dot continued again from the cover. And the pattern like fades as it comes down the page. So when you write, it's not going to be really obvious that the polka dots are still there. So it's cute, but still functional. And then we go into the next month. So I'll just show you the blue theme, which is also on a few of the pages. So we've got blue month. And then, like I mentioned before, with having no tabs, it's not really an issue because you can see the pages with the full color and they pop. So you can use those and the page numbers to navigate to where you need to go. And just show you, I just want to show you all the blue pages. There's also quarterly check-ins. So not only is there quarterly planning, there's quarterly check-ins, and that's got that same rating out of 10 system that they have for the on the monthly. Pretty sure it was just on the monthly, yeah, on the monthly spread. So it continues again, monthly and quarterly. So the planner continues with the same layout until we get to the very back. I do really love that quote. So I bookmarked that page. Okay, then we have the year-end review. So just remove that bookmark. There's 3 written bookmarks in different colors. And as you can see, I'm not in the middle of the planner and the pages are laying flat on their own. If I just skip to another section, you can see they're laying flat, which is great. Okay, so the year-end review. We again have that rating out of 10, and then there's also like prompter questions for each category as well. Like finances, how they compare to 12 months ago. That's an interesting question, not just like, are you happy? Like, have you improved? Personal time and self-care, fun and happiness, and this home and surroundings one. I think that's interesting. Interesting question to ask. Not many people, I doubt, would consider that. And then confidence, giving back, notes, and then a little mini checklist for things you should do. Love that quote as well. And then we have some more extras at the back. So project planning, I'm assuming if you have those mini goals, you know how it had 5 circles down the bottom of the weekly spread. Maybe that's where you've got these goals that you're tracking with that same layout with milestone, actions, priority, and when. There's heaps of these back here. So many to choose from. Master to-do list. I will measure the line spacing for you and have that in the blog post, which will be linked down below. Absolutely love a good checklist. And I like that it's all on the same 2 pages, but there's a gap. So if you wanted to, you could just brain dump everything, or you could put categories in these gaps if you wanted to. And these pages have a little colored edge on them, so you can help you find them easier as well. So for not having tabs, it's probably the most well thought out sewn bound planner that I've seen, with having things like the different colors and the page numbers to help you find them easier, find pages easier. We have meeting notes. The intention of the meeting, I think, is a good section. Notes, follow-ups, due dates, post-meeting thoughts, different phrases down the bottom. There's heaps of these meeting pages as well, tons of them. And then we have lists and notes section, some dot grid, 5mm grid. Those dots are pretty bold though. They might be a bit too bold for some people. I personally prefer a more faint dot because I think that will be really bold when you try and like write on the page. Mine are con though, and they're pink, so kind of redeems itself by having a nice pop of color. Achievements and wins, lessons I've learned, and a massive bucket list, absolutely huge bucket list. 100 things, it's plenty of space. Just grab this page. Oops. Contacts and mentors. That's something I've not seen in a like career or goals planner before. It's a nice extra. And I actually think you probably would use this, because if you're out at a networking event, you've probably got your planner in your handbag with you because you're probably going after work. So you might actually use this to jot down some notes rather than just contact details, because everyone uses their phone obviously. So I think that's good to have some open-ended notes page for that. Birthdays, special days, and gifts. Some more dot grid pages. Really love that the white's popping against the pink background. I think that looks really nice. There's tons of these as well. Heaps of dot grid pages. Still going. Look how many there are. It's a really generous amount of notes pages. Now there's no pocket folder at the back here, but it does have this "I made it happen" quote. I personally don't really use pocket folders because I tend to fill them quite quickly, but just also note there's no elastic band. So if you are someone who likes to stuff loose pages in their planner, you might not want to do that with this one. They could fall out because there's no pocket folder or elastic band to keep it all contained. So my overall thoughts on this planner: I love pretty much everything about it except this monthly calendar. The proportions, I would prefer a slightly bigger page size. For me, I like a 7-inch wide by 9-inch high, but I don't tend to take my planner with me. I leave it at home on my desk. And if you are someone who takes it with you, then I can see why you would want this slightly smaller compact page size. I would split this column so that Saturday and Sunday were separate, and then I'd have a separate week in review, or just use those notes pages at the back. Otherwise, I think it's a really well thought out planner. There's so many extra pages. If you do all your career planning, having that quarterly goals and reflection is a nice extra. and all the monthly reviews. So overall, I think it's a really good planner. I would recommend. I hope you found this review helpful.